Hello followers and welcome to the post-mortem analysis of ChristmasCraft. And before we get started here, one thing I do want to explain, and it is pretty obvious, we are not in the world that we have been playing in. That is because we're going to be looking at a few things today that I didn't get to see in the mod. Some people suggested to me in the comments, oh, spawn it in so that you can actually, we can actually see it before we head out, and we're going to be looking at those items here, but we're not going to be doing it in that same world. The world download for that will be offered, and it will be in the description. You can click on that, and it will take you to a Mediafire page where you can grab it from there if you want to play around in that world. Bear in mind, though, you are going to need the ChristmasCraft mod to get all of this stuff. All the installation instructions are on the forum page. You just need to basically download the Forge installer, run Forge, and then drag the mod into the mods folder of your Forge directory, and you should be set to go from there. But you might want to look online for more specific instructions, as I'm not going to spend too long on that, as we've got a fair bit to talk about today, and I want to keep it fairly fast-paced. So, yeah, where do we start with ChristmasCraft? It was, first off, I think we should actually say how much I enjoyed playing with this mod and what a good idea it was for me to play it. Now, I didn't find this by myself. A big shout out actually has to go to Mondo, who is a close friend of mine, who you guys have probably heard me mention before in various different things. He actually suggested to me to play this mod on my channel, and I looked it up and I downloaded it, and it was a good idea. I felt it was a great mod, great little series. I think a lot of people actually enjoyed this series. Seemed to be quite popular, so I hope that you did enjoy it. Just a little Christmas treat, really, just something a little bit fun to kind of wind down the year. I don't do too much stuff with mods, as you guys know, outside of Feed the Beast, so it was nice to see something a little bit different, and it's just basically a lightly modded copy of Minecraft with a couple of nice additions here and there. And I really enjoyed it. I want to also throw a shout out there to the mod maker, for actually making this mod. It's a great mod, great work. Could not really improve it too much in any way. I'm sure that you guys over there have got something in the works for next year to improve this mod even further, and most certainly I will be taking a look in Christmas 2014 to see what has all been added and changed, and maybe I'll do another Let's Play on my channel, but we'll have to see. That is quite far ahead yet. But you did want to throw a little thanks over there to the mod maker for making this mod. It is a great mod, and I don't think I didn't enjoy any of it. I really enjoyed pretty much every aspect of it. So, big thanks for all the hard work over there. So, yeah, I guess we should start by talking about the series as a whole, really. So, if we go all the way back to episode 1, which was about 2-3 weeks ago now. Episode 1 was just more of an establishing episode. We didn't mess with too much modded stuff. We did take a brief look at this list, and this is one thing I'm glad I did, was install not enough items. I think I'm going to be doing this now with every modded playthrough I do, is going to be installing not enough items. Super handy. I would highly recommend grabbing this if you want to play any mod. Just so that you know the crafting recipes, like being able to click on the red Christmas light, for example, and actually be able to view the crafting recipe, because I don't know what it is, and I don't know where to go looking it up. So it's a good idea to actually have a program like that installed, so the video just kind of flows a lot better. That's what I felt with that. It was a good idea to actually do that. So again, big thanks to Chicken Bones for writing not enough items. Very, very helpful in this series. And I guess that's all we did really in the first episode, was get established. The second episode, if I recall, we kind of got the base going, but we still didn't take a look at too much. It was kind of the third and the fourth and the fifth episode that we actually looked into a lot of this stuff. So I remember, I think episode 3 we went on an adventure to find stuff. Episode 4 we looked at all of the food items and things like that, and episode 5 we looked at the music discs and the decoration stuff. Now, if you look here in this list, the mod doesn't add all that much. It's not a huge mod by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think it has to be. I think that it's an ideal size right now. You don't need to bloat it full of Christmas stuff, because people aren't going to be able to use it, you know, so I think it was a good idea to actually keep it relatively small, and the features that were added were actually relevant and actually pretty fun to use and pretty cool, I have to say. You know, like the nice addition of the food items and only 2 new mobs, but some nice redstone-y based bits and pieces here. And just the 3 music discs. It was sent to me like a reasonable size. Now, obviously, as the years go by, probably more stuff will get added. But it's not this huge mod with hundreds of things to look at. It's a relatively small mod. I imagine that it will probably, you know, just kind of have a few items added here and there each year. But nothing too dramatic. And I think that this is a good start if you're looking into getting into modded Minecraft. So I guess at this point, we should really talk about the different items and different things you could do and what I felt about them. So we don't really have too much over here, but I guess we should start by crafting the illustrious fruitcake that we never actually had the opportunity to craft because I never found melons in the world there. So let's whack these in here. I believe it's the eggs in the middle, and then, well, we can double check, can't we? Oh, you need milk buckets. I did not know that. And now it's raining. So we want to get rid of that, and we'll get some milk. And you can't stack milk buckets, which is a bit of a pain, but never mind, I guess. There we go. Bye-bye, rain. Eggs and Christmas spices, and we want a bucket of milk either side. And that gives you a fruitcake. So let's pop the fruitcake down. Probably shouldn't have put it on the sand, but never mind, I guess. And we'll just toss this stuff in here as we don't need it anymore. So this is the fruitcake. It looks somewhat similar to the regular cake. We'll actually get the regular cake out here for a comparison. Same sort of shape, same size. It's just that it has a different top. Looks pretty cool. You obviously you eat it in the same way. You take a slice. I'm not hungry right now as I'm in creative mode, but that's how you craft it, and that's what it looks like. And you would obviously take a slice of it and eat it like a regular cake. We also didn't really see too much of these mobs. This is the creeper claws. This is a passive mob, which looks like a creeper, which you kill for Christmas spices. As you can see there, we've got 2 Christmas spices. And this mob, the Ender Elf, we never actually saw. Now, I don't know how best to really deal with this fellow. Where did he spawn? They're really hard to find. I guess we should have kind of got them underground. And if you kill them, I don't know if they drop anything or not, but when we went caving and we found those presents in the cave, these guys actually drop them. Similar to how Endermen pick up blocks, these guys drop presents, and that's why we saw them. You will never see them on the surface because they teleport around on the surface. And there might be some mechanic in there to prevent just random presents being all over the surface. Or maybe they can only spawn underground. I'm not 100% sure on that. But these guys are the reasons that we have those presents. I've never actually seen an Ender Elf drop the present, though. There's the fella. But they seem really shy. I don't know if these guys are passive or not. Obviously, I'm in creative mode, so it's hard to tell, really. I mean, 2 of them haven't dropped anything, so I don't know if they actually do drop any Christmas presents or whether they drop ender pearls. I really don't know. So, they're the 2 mobs that were added. I think that they were 2 nice additions. A little on the rare side, I felt. Particularly the creeper claws. I mean, it only drops the Christmas spices, which are used in a number of recipes, so I might have made that a little more common, but it was a nice rare find. And a cool mob. And a cool design. The Ender Elf must be incredibly rare because I've never seen one, and maybe I would like to see that a little bit more, but I can understand why they are so rare due to the fact that we have they drop presents everywhere, so, and the presents are usually pretty good off them, so I can understand why they are relatively rare. So that's that, I guess. So the mob's pretty cool, a little on the rare side, I felt, but really cool additions, and I really like them. And I really like the fact that it kind of stuck to Minecraft's theme in pretty much every respect. That with the mobs has kind of brought me onto this, the Christmas lights, the Christmas tree stand. Nothing was over complicated, you know. It was a simple mod, and that kind of fits into Minecraft's theme. And some mods, they add lots of complex stuff, and it kind of gets away from Minecraft's theme. Now, in some cases, that's okay, but for a mod like this, which is just a small mod, then you want it to kind of be related to the game at least a little bit. Like, it makes sense. And this mod, I felt, did that very, very well. So the mobs, I think it was the best way forward was to kind of do a spin on the already existing mobs over, say, adding a completely new mob in the game. So I'm really glad that the mod developer chose to do that. So that kind of wraps up everything I have to say on the mobs here. And we've obviously looked at the fruitcake now. And that was the only things we didn't actually do in the series itself. So I guess the next thing to talk about would be these here, the Christmas lights. These, again, this kind of ties into what I just said about simplicity and kind of fitted into Minecraft's theme. I feel that these actually do that really well. This redstone is very, very simple here. It's not hard to figure out. Anybody who has basic redstone knowledge, i.e. has the ability to turn on a lever, will know how to use these. You can make cool patterns, you can decorate, and they do look really cool. Now, I only use them inside my little cavern there, but I imagine that people are building huge castles or buildings and decorating them out with these Christmas lights, and it would look incredibly cool. And again, they're simple. The colour choice I felt was great. Couldn't complain too much about that. All Christmassy colours. And I like these. The particle effects was a real nice touch. The kind of twinkling. And same with the Christmas star too. You know, it's just the little things. This guy pretty much thought of everything in this mod, and I really do like the little particles that you get off those. Very nice little effect there. And very, very cool. As regards crafting recipe, this is really cheap, and that's what I do like about it. It was not ridiculously hard to obtain. The cactus was a little on the hard side to obtain, but that's just because I didn't spawn near a desert. Now, in the next version for 1.7, getting to biomes is a lot harder than it used to be. So, there may have to be some sort of filter in there to cater for that. Changing it from cactus green dye to something else, but I don't know what you could really change it to. Because you can get access to lapis anywhere. You can get access to red dye in most biomes. You can get access to yellow and orange dye in most biomes, because obviously you can mix red and yellow to get orange. But green, sometimes you could have to trek a little ways to actually get the cactus now. So that maybe is just something to think about for the next version. But these were really cheap, a fair crafting recipe for how many you got, and really, really cool to actually play with. These Christmas lights, the twinkling Christmas lights, again, these were pretty cheap. They did require glowstone, which means that you do have to get to the nether as a prerequisite, or kill a witch or so, but to be honest with you, most players would go to the nether anyway, and it's pretty easy to get to the nether. All you need to do is get 3 diamonds, which is fairly standard of most survival worlds. You know, build a portal, or just make a portal mold, and pour, obviously, the water in there using buckets, and you could get to the nether. I ended up going the diamond route through the fact that I got a diamond pickaxe from one of the presents. That may be a good idea, actually, to have the cactus in a Christmas gift, and that would be the way of getting access to it. But yeah, these, really, really cool, very simple, but very nice additions overall, I felt. So what else do we have here? We have the Christmas stockings and the wreaths, which I have over here. This is just a decorative item. Very cool, I like the 3D effect. I can't say too much more than that because it is only a decorative item. But a little nice addition there. A lot of people use wreaths in real life, so it made sense to have them in this mod. Now, the Christmas stockings, again, were a very nice addition. I liked the effect. Very cheap crafting recipe again, really easy to obtain. And the fact that you managed to get presents when you slept, I thought that that was a really cool mechanic. And it did add a little bit of mystery as to what you were going to get. I got some pretty good gear out of these stockings and the Ender Elf presents. And that kind of takes me into a point with these. The idea of the Christmas gift and being able to find them and unbox them and finding cool stuff like what I did was a really good idea. I think that that is a real enjoyable aspect to this mod, and that was one of the things that really got me excited to play this mod, was the fact that you never know what you're going to get, you know? So I really liked that aspect of it, and I really liked the surprise, and it also gave you a reason to sleep. So Santa will come and fill your stockings. So yeah, I mean, I can't say too much more than that. The ornaments, again, they're just a decorative item. They're pretty cool looking. They did require the nether as a prerequisite, but pretty cool looking here. I think that they provided a nice decoration that you could stick on the tree, and obviously the presents spawn under the tree. I don't know whether the decorations are actually relevant to that or not, but just a cool little decoration, you know, just a small circular looking thing to put on your tree, and kind of add a little bit of customizability, really, add a bit of customization to the actual Christmas tree. And same with the decorative star too. That is pretty much the same. It just gives you the option of adding something cool to it. And this was not that expensive to craft either, so I'm pretty happy with that. It was a great addition, these the decorative star and the ornaments, and a nice amount of colours too, not like loads and loads and loads to pick from, just a small range, which even with the 4 colours or 5 colours that we do have, is it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it is. No, it's 5. It's 5. So with the 5 colours you've got, there is loads of possible designs you could do, and I've seen some pictures of people decorating out their Christmas trees, and no two have looked the same. So I think that it was a good idea adding them, adds a bit of variety, but at the same time it's not oversaturated. That's what I feel. So moving on from the Christmas gifts, I guess we should actually talk about the Christmas tree stand itself. The Christmas tree stand, again, it's just a small spruce tree that you craft and then bone meal to get the tree, or I think you can let it naturally grow. And it was a really cool addition. I like the effect that it has with giving you Christmas presents under the tree if you sleep. I think that that was a great addition to the game. Kind of already explained about what I thought with getting of the gifts, so we're not going to repeat ourselves there, but just a nice little magical surprise, and you never know what you were going to get. And it was worth crafting, and it is a nice decoration to have in the world. So, yeah. Moving on, all we have left to talk about now is the ice skates, the food items, and the music discs. So why don't we talk about the ice skates first? So the ice skates, I mean, they're a very simple addition. I liked the effect that these gave. When you skate on ice, you go faster. I also particularly like the effect that when you're on land, you actually go slower. Now, that is not something I would have thought of doing, and this kind of shows that the mod maker really thought out what he wanted to do. Get away from my fruitcake, dog. But I really did like that addition. The ice skates were really cool. Didn't play with them too much, but I imagine that a lot of people have used them for various different things. Great for fast travel, that's for sure. And it kind of gave you that speed buff on ice, which I felt was pretty cool, I have to say. Just a nice little addition there, something to play with and enjoy. So yeah, pretty cool stuff all around with those. The music discs, I thought the music discs were a great addition. I thought the choice of song was very good. I really did like the choice of songs that they chose. Personally, my favourite here is We Wish You a Merry Christmas, I believe. But I thought that the choice of songs and the music discs available were good. It did add to a nice atmosphere, particularly when we looked at them in episode 5. It gave off a nice vibe and a nice feel. I don't know. All I know is that I believe the mod maker created these songs, and I think that it was a great addition and well worthwhile creating these songs. It can take a lot of time to actually create them, but it was a worthwhile addition. And we got these out of Christmas gifts. They're very rare, which kind of, I would agree with how rare they are. They're just a nice rare find and something cool to listen to while you're doing work. And I mean, a great choice. I couldn't have picked 3 better songs, to be honest with you, than what the mod maker picked. So great work all around on those. So I guess finally we'll talk about the food items from this mod. So the food items, there was 6 food items added to the mod, including the fruitcake that we've already talked about, and that was the chocolate milk, the hot cocoa, the candy cane, the cute gingerbread cookie, the eggnog, and obviously, as we already said, the fruitcake. These items were pretty cool, I have to say. They were a little on the unusual side, and I think that that kind of added to a bit of the magic. I couldn't give you details about how good they are and whatnot as regards saturation and whether they're overpowered or not. I don't think it matters too much, to be honest with you. I think that the food items, they were just something interesting to craft and something different to kind of use and play around with, and just a nice addition to kind of fill out the mod a little bit. And obviously getting the Christmas spices was kind of a prerequisite, so there was a bit of a challenge there. And now it's raining again. Oh, go away, rain. So yeah, I mean, my favourite has to be the gingerbread cookie, of course, just because of how cute it looks. It is the cutest gingerbread cookie I have ever seen. I hope that the mod maker never changes that texture. I could just do with loads of these just like everywhere. But the food items were a really nice addition, really cool. Not too expensive to craft. All around I thought were really cool. The one thing I would suggest with these is for the hot cocoa and the chocolate milk, I would suggest giving yourself a potion effect instead of hunger points, because it is something you drink, and typically potions are what you drink in this game. So that would be one little tiny thing I would suggest. Maybe chocolate milk might give you speed, and hot cocoa might give you haste, for example. I don't know. It's just an idea here. But overall, I felt that they were balanced, they were fair, they were easy to craft, and they were a lot of fun. And I really like the food items, including the cute gingerbread cookie. So my final thoughts on this mod as a whole were that it was a really cool mod. I would recommend it to people to play. Obviously not now, as it's going to be New Year by the time you guys see this probably, but I felt that it was a great mod. I would recommend checking it out and following the development over the next year, ready for next Christmas. Even if I don't do a series, I will probably do a mod review or a mod video of sorts, just kind of going over what the mod is all about again, similar to this video. Or I may end up doing another short Let's Play again, but that's thinking really far ahead, and I can't give any exact details on that. But, yeah, final thoughts. If I was to score the mod out of 10, I would probably give it probably a 10, to be honest. There are some little things here and there that, you know, I felt could be tweaked, but it was not necessarily an improvement. It's more of just a tweak. There was nothing I felt that drastically needed improving, or, you know, nothing wasn't working or anything like that. I mean, sometimes you can get mods where just nothing works. Everything in this mod worked. It was very stable. It never once crashed on me, which I think is really important when building a mod. It is compatible with mods such as Not Enough Items, which I think is a great feature too. And as I say, I would recommend people to check this mod out, and hopefully it gets even better with the future updates that come out over the next year from Mojang as well. So I guess my final words in this series are going to be thank you for joining me in this series, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video, kind of looking back on all the different items and stuff that this mod actually added. And I hope overall that you really enjoyed this series. I certainly hope to be seeing you in the new year with Safe Haven, which is going to be replacing this series as of today when I'm recording this tomorrow. So if you see this video today, which I think it's going to be going live on tomorrow, January 1st at 3 PM GMT, the release of Safe Haven Episode 1 will be coming out, and you'll be able to check that out. That is a custom map, not a modded Let's Play. Thank you for, as I say, joining me throughout this December. I hope that you all had a very, very good Christmas, and I hope that you all have a fantastic New Year's. And until next time, guys, see you later, and have a good day.